Hey, my name's Peele. I run the Bangarang. It's an 87-foot Spencer docked here in Wrightsville Beach, and today I'm going to take you through how we rig our dink poles for circle hook fishing. Okay, so this is 30-pound line. The first knot we're going to start with is a bimini. With my biminis, I do 32 twists. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 2. That's 32. Hook it on something. I hook it on a rod holder. Take the slack out of the line. I like to lay into it with my elbow to get this knot tight. Can you see it? So as I come forward with my right hand, I'm pulling it towards my left hand. I'm going to roll this line back over the top of this knot. As you see, it starts to come like this. Just keep on rolling with it until all your twists are under the top wraps. Okay? Now I'm going to do a half hitch on one leg of the bimini. Just like that. I'm going to do a half hitch on the other side of the bimini. I'm going to do a half hitch around the entire bimini. And to finish it, I'm going to do a finish knot. It's like tying a half hitch, but I'm going to go around 4 times. And I'm going to take my tag end and go back through the bimini. All right. As I pull this tight, I want to stretch this knot out to get all the slack out and get the twist out. As it lays up, it'll coil up nice and lay up flat like that. So you can see that. So the finish knot I just tied locks in your wraps, and it also gives a tapered end to the end of the bimini, which makes it easier to go through your rod guides. I like to clip my tag in pretty flush. That tag will get hung up on the rod guides, but you still want to have a little bit left on there so the knot doesn't unravel going through the rod guides. So next up, the leader we tie between the bimini and our actual bite section of our hook is called the header. It's a 23-foot section of 80-pound leader. You can do 60-pound, 40-pound, 100-pound, but we use 80-pound. And we pre-make these. These are made at the dock. We tie these, we'll get 50 or 60 of them tied, just so you're not tying them when you're offshore. They're all cut, they're all measured 23 feet exactly, because we add on our 6-foot bite section of our hook, and that'll make 29 feet. So IGFA rules for 30-pound line is 30-foot leader, 29 feet, we're always legal. Take our bimini off, just let it kind of come off and do its thing, get all the twists out. See how it's laid up? It's not too, doesn't have a lot of memory in the line. All the twists are out. That thing's ready to be tied. So we're gonna take our header. Like I said, just a 23-foot section of 80-pound line. One end's open, one end has a swivel crimped onto it. So this knot we're gonna tie between the bimini and the header, it's called a Bristol knot, okay? We got our bimini opened up between our 2 fingers. Go in the front with your Bristol, with your header. Give yourself a little tag end to work with. We're going to wrap up the bimini 4 times. 3, 4. All right. Now we're going to wrap down the bimini 4 times. Sometimes it's a little tricky, but it comes. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So I went through the front of the bimini. Now I'm going to come through the back of the bimini. Give it a little lube. Pull it on the bimini and the header. Watch this knot cinch up. You always want to take it and kind of test it. So So that knot's strong, we know it's gonna pull good. Clip your tag in flush, so that knot goes through the guide smooth. So that's the Bristol knot. Everything's laid up nice and neat. All your coils are stacked up. Nothing's laid over top of each other. Take it, crank it onto the spool. Other end we have our swivel. Take our hook. And again, we make a bunch of these at the dock. I don't usually go offshore without at least 100 of these tied. You can tie them yourself, you can buy them from Fathom. So then you just take your bite section, your hook, and this is a 8/0 hook, snelled to 80-pound fluoro with a crimped loop in the end. You can tie perfection loops like this. It's just up to you. We take our loop, snap it onto our snap swivel, hook it on the guide, and that's it. All you need is a bait.